Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about something very simple but very powerful. If you want to improve your English, you do not always need more grammar books. You do not need to memorize hundreds of difficult words every day. You do not need to spend hours studying complicated rules. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply listen. Listen more and you will speak better. It sounds simple, right? But many English learners do not realize how important listening really is. They spend a lot of time reading, writing, memorizing vocabulary, and studying grammar. But when it is time to speak, they still feel nervous. They know many words, but they cannot use them naturally. They understand English when they read it. But when someone speaks quickly, they suddenly feel lost. If you have ever experienced this, please understand that you are not alone. There is nothing wrong with you. Your English is not hopeless. You simply need to train your ears and your mouth together. Think about a child learning a language. A child does not begin by studying grammar rules. A child listens first. Every day, the child hears words, sounds, expressions, questions, and conversations. At first, the child understands almost nothing, but slowly the sounds become familiar. Then the child starts recognizing words. After that, the child begins repeating sounds. Finally, the child starts speaking. You can use the same natural process to improve your English. You can listen, you can repeat, you can speak, and you can improve day by day. The biggest mistake many learners make is expecting instant results. They listen to English for 2 days and think, why am I still not fluent? But language does not work like that. English is a skill, and skills grow through repetition. Imagine going to the gym one time and expecting a completely different body the next morning. It does not work that way. Your body needs regular training. Your brain needs regular training too. The same is true for English. You do not need to become perfect today. You only need to become a little better than yesterday. Maybe yesterday you understood 10 English sentences. Today, you understand 12. Yesterday, you were afraid to speak for 30 seconds. Today, you speak for 1 minute. Yesterday, you knew a word but could not use it. Today, you use that word in a sentence. These small improvements may feel unimportant, but they are not. They are progress, and progress repeated every day becomes fluency. So, from today, I want you to change the way you think about English. Do not ask yourself, how can I become fluent immediately? Ask yourself, how can I improve my English today? That question is much more powerful. Maybe today you can listen to English for 15 minutes. Maybe you can repeat 10 sentences. Maybe you can speak to yourself in English while preparing breakfast. Maybe you can describe what you see around you. You can say, I am sitting in my room. I am drinking water. The weather is warm today. I need to finish my work. I am going to study English for 15 minutes. These sentences are simple, but simple English is powerful. You do not need complicated English to communicate. You need clear English. You need comfortable English. And most importantly, you need confidence. Listening can help you build that confidence. When you listen to English regularly, your brain begins to recognize patterns. You start noticing how people connect words. You begin to understand common expressions. You hear the rhythm of the language. You notice how sentences sound in real conversations. For example, when you read the sentence, what are you going to do? You may pronounce every word separately. What are you going to do? But in natural conversation, you may hear something closer to "Wadaya gonna do." At first, that can sound completely different. You may think, I know all these words, but I don't understand the sentence. That is why listening is so important. You need to hear real English again and again. Your ears need training. And when your ears become comfortable with English, speaking becomes easier. So let me give you a very simple practice. Listen to this sentence. I want to improve my English. Now repeat it. I want to improve my English. Again. I want to improve my English. Now say it naturally. I want to improve my English. Good. Now change one word. I want to improve my speaking. Again. I want to improve my speaking. Now change it again. I want to improve my listening. Again. I want to improve my listening. This is how you should practice. Lessons, repeat. Change, speak. You do not need to memorize complicated explanations. Your goal is to make English feel familiar. The more familiar English becomes, the less you have to think about every word. And this is another important point. Stop translating everything. When you hear an English sentence, many learners immediately translate it into their first language. Then they think about the meaning. Then they create a sentence in their first language. Then they translate that sentence into English. By the time they are ready to speak, the conversation has already moved forward. This makes speaking slow and stressful. Instead, try to connect English directly with meaning. If you hear, I am hungry, do not think about the translation. Imagine the feeling of hunger. If you hear it is raining, imagine rain. If you hear open the door, imagine opening a door. If you hear I am tired, imagine feeling tired. You are training your brain to understand English directly. This takes time, but it becomes easier with practice. And remember, you do not have to understand every single word. This is another common problem. Some learners listen to a conversation and stop every few seconds because they do not understand one word. They become frustrated. They think, I cannot understand English. But understanding every word is not necessary. Imagine you are watching a movie in your own language. Do you understand every single word? Probably not. Maybe someone speaks quietly. Maybe there is background noise. Maybe someone uses an expression you do not know. But you still understand the main idea. You can do the same in English. Focus on the message. Ask yourself, what is this person talking about? What is happening? What does this person want? What is the main idea? You may understand 70% today. That is okay. Tomorrow, maybe you understand 75%. 1 month later, maybe you understand much more. Your brain is learning. Give it time. Now I want you to think about your daily life. You probably have many moments when you can practice English without sitting at a desk. Maybe you are walking. Listen to English. Maybe you are cleaning your room. Listen to English. Maybe you are cooking. Listen to English. Maybe you are traveling. Listen to English. Maybe you are exercising. Listen to English. You can turn ordinary moments into English practice. You do not always need a special study session. You can bring English into your everyday life. Even 15 minutes a day can make a difference when you do it consistently. The key word is consistency. 15 minutes every day is better than 3 hours once a week if your goal is to build a daily habit. Your brain loves repetition. When you hear the same useful expressions again and again, they begin to feel natural. For example, how are you doing? What are you up to? That sounds great. I'm not sure. Let me think. Give me a minute. I understand. I don't understand. Could you say that again? These are simple sentences, but they are extremely useful. Practice them until they come naturally. Listen to them. Repeat them. Say them while walking. Say them in front of a mirror. Use them in imaginary conversations. Imagine someone asks you, "What are you doing today?" You can answer, "I'm working today. I'm studying today. I'm staying home today. I'm going out with my friends. I'm not sure yet." The goal is not to produce perfect sentences. The goal is to communicate. You will make mistakes. Of course you will. Everyone makes mistakes when learning a language. Do not let mistakes stop you. A mistake is not proof that you are bad at English. A mistake is proof that you are practicing. If you never make mistakes, you are probably not challenging yourself enough. So speak. Speak even when your English is not perfect. Speak even when you feel nervous. Speak even when you forget a word. If you forget a word, explain it in another way. For example, maybe you forget the word umbrella. You can say, "The thing I use when it rains." That is communication. Maybe you forget the word delicious. You can say, "The food tastes really good." You are still communicating. Fluent speakers do this too. They do not always know every word. They simply find another way to express the idea. This is a skill you can develop. Now let's talk about pronunciation. Listening helps your pronunciation because your ears learn what English sounds like. If you only read English, you may pronounce words according to the spelling. But English spelling can be confusing. Words do not always sound the way they look. That is why you need to listen. Listen to a word, here's the sound. Repeat the sound. Then use it in a sentence. Do not worry about having a perfect accent. Your goal is understandable speech. Speak clearly, speak confidently, and continue listening. Your pronunciation will naturally improve as your ears become more familiar with English sounds. Here is another powerful method. Choose one short piece of English. It could be a short conversation. Listen to it several times. The first time, just listen. Do not repeat. Do not write anything. Just listen. The second time, listen for the main idea. The third time, pause after each sentence and repeat. The fourth time, try to speak at the same time as the speaker. This is called shadowing. It is a powerful way to train your listening and speaking together. For example, "I had a really busy day." Pause. "I had a really busy day." Again, "I had a really busy day." Now say it with natural rhythm. "I had a really busy day." Excellent. Then continue. "But I still found time to practice English." Repeat. "But I still found time to practice English." Again. "But I still found time to practice English." Now put the sentences together. "I had a really busy day, but I still found time to practice English." This kind of practice can change your speaking. You are not just studying English. You are training your mouth to produce English. And that is very important. Sometimes your brain knows the sentence, but your mouth is not trained to say it quickly. That is why you need speaking practice. Your mouth needs repetition. Think about a musician. A musician does not become good by reading about music. The musician practices again and again. The same thing applies to speaking English. You need practice, and you need patience. Do not compare your English with someone who has been learning for 10 years. Compare your English with your English from last month. That is the comparison that matters. Maybe 1 month ago, you were afraid to speak. Today, you can speak for 2 minutes. That is progress. Maybe 1 month ago, you could understand slow English only. Today, you can understand normal conversations. That is progress. Maybe 1 month ago, you needed to translate every sentence. Today, you can understand some sentences directly. That is progress. Celebrate these small wins. They matter. Now I want you to make a promise to yourself. Not a huge promise, a simple promise. I will practice English every day. You do not have to practice for hours. Start with 15 minutes, 5 minutes of listening, 5 minutes of repeating, 5 minutes of speaking. That is enough to begin. If you have more time, practice longer. But if you are busy, do not say, I don't have time. Find a small moment. 15 minutes is possible for most people. And remember, your goal is not to study English forever. Your goal is to make English part of your life. Listen while you walk, speak while you cook, think in English while you travel. Describe your day in English. Talk to yourself. Talk to a friend. Record your voice. Listen to your recording. Notice one thing you can improve. Then try again. This is how you grow. Slowly, naturally, day by day. There will be days when you feel motivated. There will also be days when you feel tired. On those days, do not quit. Make the practice smaller. Listen for 5 minutes. Say 5 sentences. That is enough. The goal is to keep the habit alive, because consistency is more powerful than motivation. Motivation comes and goes. A habit stays. So create a simple English routine. Wake up and hear English during the day. Say a few sentences. In the evening, listen again. Before you sleep, think about your day in English. You can say, today was a good day. I worked in the morning. I had lunch with my family. I was tired in the afternoon. I practiced English. Tomorrow I will practice again. Simple but natural. Useful and powerful. You may be surprised how much your English can improve when you practice these simple things every day. Remember, English is not something you need to fear. English is a tool. It is a way to communicate. It is a way to connect with people. It can help you study. It can help you work. It can help you travel. It can help you discover information from around the world. And you deserve to feel comfortable using it. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Start today. Listen to one English conversation. Repeat 5 sentences. Speak for 2 minutes. Tomorrow, do it again. Then again and again. After a week, you may notice a small difference. After a month, you may notice a bigger difference. After several months of consistent practice, you may look back and realize how far you have come. That is the power of daily improvement. You do not need to become fluent overnight. You only need to move forward. 1 sentence, 1 conversation, 1 listening session, 1 day at a time. So when you feel discouraged, remember this. You are learning, your brain is learning, your ears are learning, your mouth is learning. Every time you listen, you are training. Every time you repeat, you are training. Every time you speak, you are training. Even your mistakes are part of the training. Do not be embarrassed by your mistakes. Use them. Learn from them. Keep going. And most importantly, enjoy the process. Do not turn English into punishment. Make it part of your life. Listen to stories you enjoy.